Priya is destined to live off grass. Every winter, Priya and her children rely on these nettles to stave off hunger. Although Priya's family's standard of living has indeed improved considerably recently, they still have to eat nettles once every 2 days. Since Priya wanted to eat nettles, her husband went out early in the morning to gather some. As a perennial herb, nettle is incredibly resilient. On hillsides, along roadsides, by ditches, at the edges of forests, and on wastelands, you can see them growing in patches everywhere. No matter how barren the soil, it can thrive, just like the Nepalese people rooted here, who can survive no matter how harsh the conditions. However, since nettles are covered in stinging hairs, skin contact causes a burning sensation, redness, and itching. That's why the locals use tongs to pick them. They select the tender leaves and boil them until soft, then add cornmeal and stir it into a paste. Finally, they season it with garlic, Sichuan pepper, and masala. This is the common nettle paste. After bringing the nettles home, Priya immediately started preparing dinner. She used the tongs to transfer all the nettles into the pot and let them simmer over high heat. Next, holding a wooden mallet in one hand and tongs in the other, she flipped the nettles over. Once the nettles were nearly cooked through, Priya sprinkled a handful of cornmeal into the pot and began pounding the pot vigorously with the mallet. Soon, the nettles turned into a thick paste. At this point, the nettles had a smooth, velvety texture, similar to well-cooked spinach mixed with okra, perfect for serving with corn porridge or brown rice. The children were all gathered around, waiting for Priya to call them to the table. Only the second daughter held a textbook in her hands, poring over it with such intensity she'd forgotten to eat or sleep, recalling what the teacher had covered in class. The second daughter had always been diligent and studious. At home, she was also very hardworking, always eager to help Priya with the housework. She believes that knowledge changes one's destiny. Her dream is that one day, she'll be able to move to the city to work and live, and then bring her whole family there to improve their living conditions. After the nettle porridge was ready, Priya began preparing the corn dough. Once water was added to the pot and placed over the fire, she could add the cornmeal directly. While adding the cornmeal, she stirs constantly to prevent it from clumping together and failing to cook through. This also prevents the mixture from sticking to the pot. Once everything is thoroughly mixed, she covers the pot and simmers it over high heat. The Nepalese region is home to over 130 ethnic groups. With such a diverse population and varied religious beliefs, the area's extremely rugged terrain and climate have shaped a culinary culture rich in the flavors of the mountains and wilderness, with a strong exotic flair. Once the corn dough was ready, Priya took the pot off the stove and prepared to eat. Each person received a ball of corn dough, paired with a spoonful of nettle paste. Though simple, this meal was incredibly filling. The family sat together in a circle, enjoying this delicious meal. It must be said, Priya's cooking was quite good. The children all ate with great satisfaction.